Carolina Panthers.
Carolina Panthers.
The Carolina Panthers became the second NFL team this season to fire their head coach, Frank Reich. They also fired Duce Staley, and they fired Josh Mccown as well. So all of them were let go. 3 coaches in Carolina. Chris Tepper takes over as the interim head coach for the Carolina Panthers, and their biggest goal, the most important purpose of the remainder of the season, will be elevating the play of their #1 overall pick, Bryce Young. We'll see whether Jim Caldwell and Thomas Brown, the offensive coaches there now in charge, can get that done. NFL team this season to fire their head coach, Frank Reich. They also fired Duce Staley, and they fired Josh Mccown as well. So all of them will let go. 3 coaches in Carolina. Chris Tepper takes over as the interim head coach for the Carolina Panthers, and their biggest goal, the most important purpose of the remainder of the season, will be elevating the play of their #1 overall pick, Bryce Young. We'll see whether Jim Caldwell and Thomas Brown, the offensive coaches there now in charge, can get that done.
Yo, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? Hey, this is your host, Demetrius with the PPP, Panthers Prime Podcast. What's going on, y'all? Hey. We finally get to hear what Tepper got to say, yo. We finally gonna hear it, you know what I mean? We finally gonna hear what Tepper got to say. What's going on, everybody? Hey, what's going on, Omar? Omar, salute PPP, salute, man. What's up, Doug? How you doing, boss? Yes, sir. Elizabeth, what's going on? Marcos Cash, what's good? What's good? What's up, man? How you doing, boss? Yeah. Hope everybody's doing good. Hey, we finally gonna get some answers. Flipper gotta talk now. Yeah, you gotta talk now. Marcos, what's up, man? Hope y'all doing good, man. Raw Walk. What's going on, man? Cam is still washed. Come on now, bro. He ain't washed, man. Cam Newton is not washed. He can't be washed. He came off the couch in that one season and put up 2. Then a week later he put up 3. No, he ain't washed. Just give him a full off season. Cam would be good anywhere. Tepper needs to get up there and just say, yeah, I made bad decisions. He has to. Oh, man, I appreciate it, man. I really do, man. Appreciate it, man. Does Tepper take any responsibility for the mess he and Fitterer have created? Yeah, no. Miss Cool, what's up, yo? What's going on? Hey, Marshall. That's right. Hey, don't play with us. What them girls doing? Don't play with us, yo. Yeah, facts. Yeah, man. That's right, man. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, man. Hit the subscribe button real quick if you haven't done so, man. We're trending up, man. Everything's trending up, man. I do appreciate it, man. Appreciate you guys. Let me get this set up real quick. Let me go to the Carolina Panthers YouTube, because I'm pretty sure we're going to have it starting to at least stream by now. Let's see here. All right. Here we go. I don't see nothing yet from the Panthers. We're going to just get everything set up real quick, guys. My mic, I got to figure out why my mic keep going low. Let's see here. Carolina Panthers. Hey, so y'all just vibe out for a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and get some behind-the-scenes stuff taken care of, man. Make sure that we got audio for this presser, man. Hey, I'm expecting the media people, I'm expecting them to go in. Like super in. I want David Tepper to be sweating. I want the sweat to be coming off his forehead, yo. Yeah. I want it to be coming off his forehead, kid. I'll let y'all vibe out for a little bit. We still got a little bit of time. Let me turn the music up, let y'all vibe. Stefan Twan, what's up, man? Break it all down for us. Yes, sir. Hey, we gonna get to the bottom of this, man. We know Tepper gonna try to lie. Y'all. We know it. Poppy, what's up? Sleeve Bryce. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually more excited about this Buccaneers game now than I was before. This Buccaneers game might be on point now, man. Here, Bryce. Big Money Bryce. Yeah, man. We might see Big Money Bryce this week, man. What's up, Big Smurf? What's going on with you, man? I appreciate you guys for rocking with me, man. Don't let me got nothing yet from the Carolina Panthers. I should have my other phone so I can see when they go live, but let's see here. Yeah, here we go. All right, let me share the screen. We still got a little bit of time. Yeah, I'm gonna drop the link in the chat, man. If y'all want to come up and talk real quick. I'll tell you one thing. Today, I need to hear from David Tepper a couple things. I need to hear that he messed up in not hiring Wilkes. I need to hear that he messed up in hiring Frank Reich. I need to hear also that he's going to step away from being so involved with the Carolina Panthers, day-to-day operations. I need to hear that. See, Dougie, what's up, man?
What's up, my guy?
Nothing much, man. You doing all right?
Yes, sir. I already told you we're gonna be here for part 2, man. I already sent my text out, so you should have some more people in the chat, man.
All right. Let me see here. Let me do this setup real quick like this. Yeah, we'll rock with this right here. Cool. Yeah, man. I mean, we I'm excited to see really what David Tepper's gonna say, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I actually think it's gonna be different than a lot of people think. I do think he'll possibly own up, but it's not gonna be like, I'm the reason why. It's gonna be some type of ownership, but it's not gonna be a whole I'm the problem. I did X, Y, and Z wrong.
Right.
But the one thing that when we were when we were live yesterday and we had the panel, I didn't appreciate Adam Scheffler what he came out and said about, the whole Ben Johnson thing, because I don't know if people watched NFL Live yesterday before Monday Night Countdown. I kind of felt like the ESPN media was basically making it like we're in shambles. Nobody wants this job. I don't believe that at all. I really think this is a high commodity job. People see the potential that Bryce has. And then they look at this defense. No, you don't have a first round pick this year, but you do have assets on this team that can get you draft capital. And you're going to have top 5 money in free agency. So it's not a let's get a coach and we're making the playoffs, but you never know. Like I said, you never know. I mean, just look at Houston. Houston was the laughing stock before they got D'Amico Ryans. Right. Like, I understand CJ Stroud is there, but D'Amico Ryans brought a culture. They got a quarterback, and they brought in personnel to help fill out that roster.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, like I've been telling people, man, I think it's just, like we're just one scheme away, man, from just, making it pretty okay in the Carolinas, man. Like, we have to have that certain scheme that's going to fit us. Like, when Ron Rivera was here, we knew he was going to run that ball.
Yes,
Jonathan
sir.
Stewart, you know what I mean?
Yes,
and D'Angelo Hall, D'Angelo Williams, all them boys, man. And, Cam was going to throw the ball. Cam was going to run. RPO. Like, that's us. The Carolina Panthers made that possible for the rest of the NFL. Nobody was running that until we started running that heavy, man. They couldn't stop it.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you good?
No, I was going to say, so what's going on, DJ Spins? With us sleeping on a night, all the media attention being on Carolina right now.
Yeah.
How do you feel, regardless of what David Tepper says, how do you feel about possible coaches? And have you did a little homework on who you would like to bring in, or no, not quite yet?
I'll be honest with you. I like Brian Johnson. I like the offensive coordinator for the Eagles.
So, okay, hold on. Okay. So, I'm glad you said that name because I heard that name yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you like Brian Johnson? Because I don't want Brian Johnson, and it's a reason why I don't.
Well, I just think that the offense of the Eagles for the past 2 years has just shown that they're able to matriculate the ball down the field.
Okay, so is it player personnel or is it coaching the reason why their offense flourished?
I think it's both.
So for me, I say it's players, because only reason why, and I've never said this on your channel, Mama Duce, most of my family are Eagles fans. Mm-hmm. So if it wasn't for me being born in Carolina, for Carolina bringing a franchise to the Carolinas, I would be a Philadelphia Eagles fan. So I gotta do my homework behind the scenes with Philly. Mm-hmm. Brian Johnson, if people don't understand the struggles that Philly had at the beginning, yes, they've been winning, but it hasn't been like blowouts. It's been like just on Sunday, if Gabe Davis ran the right route, that was game over.
Right.
But for me, Brian Johnson has been Jalen Hurts' quarterback coach since he came in the league. Mm-hmm. So there should be no disconnect where it was a slow. You remember in the beginning of the season with Jalen, he was starting out slow. They weren't on the same page with calling plays. That should have not happened. Even though I understand you're in a different role with being the offensive coordinator, you know Jalen. You know what he excels in. You're in that room with him every single week.
Right.
And I think what he tried to do what Indy's head coach, which was their offensive coordinator last year, doing the same scheme. You can't call plays like somebody else did because you're not comfortable like that. So right. I mean, Brian Johnson, I could be wrong, but again, I'm not going to tell you that your opinion sucks or I don't agree. I just don't agree because I think there are better caliber coaches out there. But I was high on Brian Johnson being our OC whenever we did hire Frank Reich. So I do understand that connection right there that you do like as well.
Yeah, and I mean, and also Evero. You know, I think Evero will be a great. I think Evero will be a great head coach, man, for the Carolina Panthers. I think, you know, history has told us here in the Carolina Panthers, you know, organization, that defensive-minded head coaches get us further than offensive-minded head coaches.
That's a fact.
I mean, that's just how history has been for us. So, you know, I'm cool with Evero. I'm cool. You know, I really want to see how Thomas Brown now embraces the fact that he has total control over this playbook, the scheme and everything. You know, it may not be as polished, and I want to tell people, we got 6 games left. It may not be as polished as you would like it for Sunday against the Bucs, but that New Orleans game and then Atlanta, or however it goes, by the second game of him really having this thing installed, we're going to see how good or how bad Thomas Brown is.
And like you said, that New Orleans Saints game, thank God, you know, we made a change so I can head down with a smile at least on my face, knowing that Frank is not there. But I agree with you on that second game. I definitely think that will be I think this week will be a transition week.
Right.
And you said week 2 with underneath Thomas Brown, you should see more. Because like that Houston game, it was kind of up in air. And then when we played Indianapolis, it was just a total dumpster fire, which I didn't understand.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I think Frank called plays in the Indianapolis game.
You remember what he said? It was personal to him.
Yeah.
And like we're seeing, he's supposed to be a leader of men, but you're putting yourself before the team.
Right.
So you can't do that. I do want to see what Thomas Brown can do. Again, I'm not saying I don't want him to interview for it. He's not a candidate. I mean, that's where we went into the whole scheduling. We have Tampa, we have the Saints, then we have, I think it's Green Bay, then Atlanta. Atlanta, and then Jacksonville and Tampa. How many wins do we really see that we're going to get? Yeah. So are we going to base this off of wins? Or are we going to base this off of what production he's able to put out with the personnel that we have? So I definitely think he deserves a shot.
Right. You know, hey, what's up, Tony? How you doing, man?
Man, what's good, family? What's happening, D? What's up, Doug? Hey, D, I sent you a message, man, about an hour ago. You never did respond.
Oh man, listen, bro. I've been in and out of sleep, man. I woke up at 2:00 this morning trying to figure out the best way to pivot with this podcast, man. And I was on the grind, bro, and I went to sleep probably like about 5 o'clock, and I woke up more than likely probably like about 30 minutes ago. So I was just trying to get all this stuff put on here, man, get my camera set up, man, and everything. So I apologize. That's the phone that you text is actually right here. It's what I'm using right now as my my webcam. So
it's all good, my boy.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Yeah. So I apologize for that, man.
I just want to know if y'all need to play to tap in. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I don't see nothing going live yet on the Panthers.
Nah, I got it on the TV. Nothing's live yet. You good?
Okay, cool. Okay, cool.
What's the topic of discussion?
Oh man, we got the David Tepper live presser today, man, at 10:30.
Yeah, I know that. I'm not. Well, I guess I should have said what we are just talking about.
We're just talking about head coaches, like the ones that we think would probably be suitable for the Carolina Panthers coming into next year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what's your thoughts, bro?
I don't know. You know what? I really haven't even given it that much thought, to be honest, because there's so much stuff out in the ether right now.
Yeah,
I think that's something that's going to be talked about to the end of the season.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, there's endless possibilities.
Right.
Hopefully, David Tepper will give us a glimpse of what he's thinking and what direction, he wants to go. Whether he wants someone that's a proven head coach, someone that's already in the NFL, or does he want a young coordinator? Give us some type of thought process of what he's thinking. So I guess we kind of
do the opposite. Do the opposite of what he said he wants to happen. Yeah, you do the complete opposite of what David Tepper says he wants to happen, because he said he wanted analytical coach when he got Matt Rule. And that didn't work. Then he said he wanted an offensive-minded head coach with Frank Reich. That didn't work out. So just say you want an offensive-minded head coach if you just go defense. That's what you do, man.
Just say that you want to win and fall back and let the professionals do what they do best.
Facts. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've been watching so many.
Huh? No, I was just saying, just put it out there what you want, fall back, and let it happen. You know what I mean?
Facts. Yeah, man. I've been watching so many media commentaries, man. Commentators say David Tepper just needs to step away. Like it's so evident that people across the league and media sources just know that he's just involved too much. Him and his wife, like, they're just too involved.
Right.
See, I think crazy. Tina and they were saying yesterday he needs a football handler, and that's the first time I've heard that about an owner that they need a football handler where you deal with the side and you have a person that has a football mind. And I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. I mean, even though we laugh about it, I don't, because again, he's gonna write the check for you, but just write the checks.
Ooh, big Smurf.
But I think.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Big Smurf. That's a good exit strategy to make some money. You pay 2 point something for it. The Panthers are now worth 6 something. Don't matter if it makes. I'm not gonna lie. That makes sense. You only buy the team to increase your net revenue and then sell it, man. Hey, the Panthers are worth like 6.5, I think, or 6.7 right now. That's crazy.
In 5 years, they triple their value.
I think right now the Panthers are worth 6.something billion right now.
We're worth 6-something million. That's correct.
And Tepper pay how much? 2.2.
He paid like 2 point something. Yeah,
I thought that was close to 3.
Yeah, I mean it was 2 point something. I don't know exactly. I think maybe like 2.7, 2.6 or something like that. But I mean that first part that Big Smurf just said, that makes a lot of sense. And listen, that is instant success. you made over $4 billion in 5 years or 6 years of owning a team just to sell it to somebody else and get out of it. Man, listen.
Yeah, smart. but how often I can buy into that notion if that's something that has been done consistently, or something like that has
it's a lot of
happened
stuff.
recently.
It's a lot of new stuff we haven't seen with the Carolina Panthers. It's a lot of new stuff we haven't seen before, man.
I can't disagree with that, but I don't think his thing was to buy the team to triple his revenue and then sell it. You know, I ain't ready to go off on that mountain yet.
You ain't trying to go off that mountain?
Nah.
We just thinking over here, man.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good thought. Don't get me wrong. Now, I mean, don't get it twisted, because there's some hustlers out there that's true to life hustlers. You know what I'm saying? And talking about a quick flip in 4 or 5 years. I mean, it ain't nothing to be mad about neither. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead, Demetrius. They just sent a notification out. They're about to go live. But I see Fadum 26 said a question. Let me ask a question. Y'all really want to go back to defensive-minded coach with running the football?
Oh, snap. We live right now. Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
Yesterday, we made some tough decisions. I have great respect for Frank Reich. He's a fine man. Also, Coach Tabor moved on from Josh and Duce yesterday, who are also very good men. Tabor will be up to answer questions on them later. With that, I'll just open it for questions.
If y'all hang on,
This dude can use his time.
questions.
Come on, dog.
So if you want to raise your hand, take the first question from Dave.
You admitted hiring Matt Rule. What was the mistakes in the hiring of Frank Reich?
Look, every coach that we've had here has been has had contributions to this organization. Frank has contributions to the organization. Matt had contributions to the organizations. And, quite frankly, if I had my druthers, I'd like to have a coach here for 20 years or 30 years, if I can do that. I'm not going to get into the individual sort of things. You guys can just speculate as to that. But we just moved on yesterday, and that's that.
Okay, first we'll have Joe Person, followed by Steve Reed.
Dave, you guys are 30-63 since you became owner. I think it's the second worst mark in the NFL, one of the worst marks in pro sports. You're about to hire your fourth head coach. Do you need to reevaluate the way you do things in terms of, A, maybe using a search firm in this hiring process, but also in how you manage day-to-day operations here?
Shots fired.
Look, things are constantly evolving, and they'll continue to evolve. And, trying to make things better is what you always try to do. Obviously, that record's not good enough. There's no hiding it. It is what it is, like everything in this sport. Everything's left on the field. Everybody knows what is every week. That record's that record. And like I said, it's not good enough. We're going to self-reflect and make it better.
Dave, you fired 3 coaches during the season, since the time you took over. Do you feel like that is going to make it more difficult to get a quality head coach here if you choose to hire someone next year?
No. I think that, I don't know, and again, I'm not going to get into it here, but I think that, there are different reasons why different things happened in each case. You guys see, like I said, everything is out in the field. Everything is known over time. And I think people know it, the league knows it, and people in the league know it. So I think that if everything was perfect, it wouldn't be the case. And everything was good, it wouldn't be the case. So it's not as if it's not known out there, reasons, and, that will be something for people to decide. Just generally speaking, and not here, but, and not that this matters because this is here. But, in other aspects of my life, we have people for 20, 30 years that work for me. Nobody ever leaves me.
What?
We'll go Phil Orbit and Josh Klein.
When Matt was hired, you preached patience and it was kind of a year-over-year evaluation. Frank gets fired 11 weeks in. To what extent was that due to maybe a philosophical shift in how you view timelines for a rebuild or turnaround?
Look, as I said, there are reasons for each individual situation. I think you guys, upon your own reflection into looking what happened through the season, can understand that. You're around town, for those that are around town, and can know the reasons. Again, I'm not going to get into that particularly, into those particulars, but I do have patience. I'm just not. My reputation away from this game is one for extreme patience. There's no reason why that doesn't, come here too. It does. Now, that patience comes with good performance and things that you want to see progress be made on different aspects. And as I said, I would like to have somebody here for 20, 30 years. I'd like to have somebody that would say eulogy at my funeral in 30 years. Okay, maybe it's 40 years, I hope. But that's what I'd like to have.
Next we'll have Mike K. and Eric Spanberg.
Yeah, you preached. You talked about your patience.
It's a lot of preaching that I'm doing. So.
You talked about your patience when you moved on from Ron Rivera. You urged the fan base to have patience in terms of bringing in sustained excellence, sustained success. What would your message to fans be now, 4 years later, that maybe feel like their patience hasn't been rewarded or it's not moving in the right direction right now?
Every week, I watch these games, and I've watched, been around football for a long time. And listen, once upon a time, I was just a fan, poor kid in Pittsburgh. That's what I was. So I know what it is to be a fan. And every week we come in, as part of us are fans. Okay. Nicole and I sit in that box, and we live and die with every play. So I understand how the fans, and I understand their frustration, and I appreciate that. I can just say this: we will make it better. I'm not promising that's going to happen tomorrow, but it may. Okay. Football is a really interesting thing, what can happen in 2 or 3 year time span. And what you're trying to do is have every single building block you can for, an organization. And in this organization, while you don't see it, because all you see is on the field, but you guys may know it or may not know it. But behind the scenes, there's been a lot of different changes in the building and a lot of things that have become a lot better inside the building. And just how different people communicate, health, strength room and medical people, football operations, nutrition, all those things, all those building blocks underneath the surface have gotten better than when I stepped in the door. Listen, they may be easier things to do. Okay. And so we have to make sure that the other things that the fans can see is better too. And also I would say that for, engagement with past Panthers. And that, we should invite you to talk to people who, legends that were here at the Panthers. So we have not gotten what the fans see every day.
I need a drink.
I understand their frustration. We share that frustration every Sunday with them.
We got Mike K. and Eric Spanberg.
David, in April, you said when you guys drafted Bryce, you said that he was a point guard style distributor who could elevate the talent around him. My question to you is, do you feel like you've put enough around him for him to elevate? And with that said, how will that evaluation of the roster in the next 6 weeks factor into how you evaluate the front office?
Look, there's a lot that goes into what the success on the field is every week. When it's roster, some scheme, how you practice, a lot of things. And obviously we can be better in all phases of that because the product on the field is just not good enough right now. It just isn't. And so we have to try to make every one of those phases better. And whatever it takes to make it better, we're going to try to do.
Dave, you've obviously had a lot of changes, not just on the football side, but on the administrative side. Also with Charlotte FC, and you just mentioned a few minutes ago that you're patient. So why do you think there is so much constant churn in this organization, and what can you do to stabilize it?
That's an interesting question when you talk about that churn and then what the results are, for that churn, what you call churn. Every case is something is done here. It's not just done because it's done by idle wish. There's a reason and there's a purpose and there's a result. And the things goes on. When you talk about the, different parts of this this franchise or this building, if you're referring to the business, you're a business guy. When we came here, there were 10 events a year in this stadium. Basically.
Man, come on, bro.
One or two more, maybe. I think we did 42 events last year in this field, not counting high school football that we brought back for the first time in the stadium and other things like that, other type charity things. So they're not even counting those sort of things, but major type events. Brought soccer to Charlotte.
I'm going to go back to muting my mic.
Yeah, I got something to say, but we're going to get into it. We're going to get into
it. It was
a
joyful sort of experience when Messi came to town, and I think the fans were elated in that sort of, in that point. And there have been highs, there's been highs and lows everywhere. Every game there's some highs, there's some lows. Gano's big kick, when Eric Reed was here for the first game. So it's highs in footballs and other places. But when you look at, since you're asking a business question, I answer a business question. When you look at us and how we do business, and now are we successful in pulling off all these different events we put here? Yeah, we are. And what we've done is really led to higher economic impact for Charlotte. And we look at the future for things like that as things that we might do in the future, whether they're an entertainment venue that may do 80 more sort of small concerts, 3,000 to 5,000 people that will bring people down there. We'll bring that here. And we think we brought a lot of economic development into the town. And we have. The numbers show it. I mean, the numbers. So I don't think that when you look at the management team and you look at the stability of the management team now, and listen, you're always trying to make it better. But I think we have a pretty good management team on the business side right now. And we are pulling off pretty seamlessly all these events.
Thank you very much, Dave. I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you.
This is the last question.
What?
Yeah.
He said okay to me.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Mr. Tepper. In terms of Bryce Young, I want to jump back on what Mike said earlier about Bryce. There's been a lot of reports over the last few days, in fact, that Frank wanted CJ Stroud. You tipped the scales and said you wanted Bryce Young. Is that true? And then also seeing what CJ Stroud is doing in Houston, did that make the comparisons even that much greater because of what you're seeing in Houston as opposed to here?
Just the way our processes go here, and I'll just answer this really plain. On all those decisions, whether it was a head coach, whether it was Bryce, I don't really vote on those decisions until the last piece. Okay, so those decisions are made by, in the case of by the football people. Now, look, everything that's right and everything that's wrong here ultimately is my fault. Okay, I have the final say. But as far as those decisions, whether it's Frank Reich or it's Bryce Young, those decisions were made. And in the case of Bryce, it was almost, I believe it was a unanimous decision on the coaches and the scouts, and very strong opinions at the time. Now, it's been reported, and we talked about it. Originally, we were going to go to the number 2 pick, and we thought we would get CJ because we thought the Texans were going to pick Bryce. And listen, we preferred Bryce. He was our number 1 pick. We had a lot of conviction. But in answer to your questions, it's just not the way the process was done. The process was done the way the process was done. And again, even though if there was a process with 5 people in the room and the way the votes came in, it was Frank was the first choice. I always could veto that choice. And even if it was Bryce and the votes came in unanimously in this particular case, I could have vetoed that choice. In both cases, I supported both choices. Okay. I'm just going to say that I supported both choices. I supported the coaches. I supported the scouts, their unanimous opinion. And I supported Frank Reich. So whatever's good, bad, or indifferent is ultimately because the buck stops here, and I take full responsibility for everything. But that's the way the process runs. And just one last thing, and then we're going to go here. As far as Bryce Young is concerned, I cannot say this, for myself, and I think everybody in this building would share this sentiment. We are totally confident in that pick. Okay, I think the people that made that pick first, would be totally confident in that. Some of them you could ask. Okay, and I think and for me, I'm totally confident in agreeing with that pick. Thank you.
Dave, you made a decision on Scott
Fitterer.
All right. Do you want to open it up, or you just want us to go ahead?
Hey, man, let's just go for it, man, because it was a whole lot of tap dancing all around this joint, man.
I ain't even gonna call it that. I'm gonna call it bigotry. We all know what bigotry is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah.
Man, you going hard in the paint, huh, Doug?
We all know what a narcissist is, right?
Oh yeah.
We all know what politicians do to get votes, right? Where I think is he doesn't want to put his foot in his mouth. He knew he messed up. He knows he's messed up.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a pride thing. We've known this for years with this man as being our owner.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to fall on his own sword that he is the reason why the decisions.
Chris.
Morning, everybody.
Yep.
Right.
First and foremost, I'd just like to say this. These are tough times. And because you're talking about relationships, and that's what coaching is. You have relationships with players. You have relationships with other coaches. And a decision was made. And I understand that. And because the NFL, it's also a business. And so I'm well aware of that. And I'm very grateful and thankful for Coach Wright keeping me around last year when he first got here. And at the same time, I'm thankful for Mr. Tepper having confidence in me to have this opportunity to lead the team these next 6 games. So we're moving forward. Today's a big work day, big game plan day. So with that, I'll answer any questions.
All right, I'll pick on the questions that you know. Questions for Coach Tabor?
Coach Tabor, Kyle Bailey, WFNZ. What directive, what mandate have you been given for the rest of this season? What do they want to see out of this team after a 1-10 start with no postseason on the horizon? Like, what are those checklists that need to be hit?
Well, I think obviously everything that we're always trying to do is put ourselves in position to win games, and that's what we're working on. I mean, really, what we're doing right now, and I know it's very cliche-ish, but there's a process, and Tuesday's process. We got to win today to set us up for tomorrow. And if we can do those things, I always say that sets you up for success and gives you an opportunity for success on Sunday. And that's what we're trying to get done.
Yeah, Chris, how much of your changes you made yesterday with getting rid of Josh Mccown and Staley had to do with the development of Bryce Young and trying to improve that?
Well, first and foremost, I'd say this. I made those decisions, and as I mentioned earlier in my opening statement, coaching is about relationships, and I respect both those coaches as people and coaches, and I'm going to keep our talks in-house, and anything that we do, we're always trying to continue to improve our team.
Alex?
Hey, Chris. Thanks for taking the time. You were the interim coach for a game for one game in 2021.
One game?
The head
Coach Nagy
got
had COVID.
Yeah. What did you learn from that experience, and are there any lessons that are transferable into the situation you're in now?
No, I think a lot of things that I learned there. It happened a couple of times. Also in the spring, Coach got COVID during OTAs, so I was responsible for the team during the week there. And then when we played San Francisco around Halloween, I believe it was. Things that you learn. I mean, I have my special teams area now, and really just kind of expand everything. I have to oversee offense and defense and game management, but those are a lot of things that I'm always doing anyway. It's just now I just have to have a little bit more of a peripheral view.
Yeah.
This will be the second and or third play caller that Bryce will be having this year. Will this transition be fluid for him?
I think Bryce will do great. Thomas will call the plays, and Thomas has already called the plays, so I think it's very easy.
Coach, elaborate a little bit on that with Thomas Brown regaining play calling abilities with Jim Caldwell looking over. Speak a little bit to how that relationship will kind of work and how you will have conversations with him on the sideline.
Well, I'm going to let him work. And my job is to help facilitate game management and work from there. But collectively, the offensive staff, they're up there right now, and their game plan, they're all working together. So it's a unified group working towards one common goal.
Brett, I got you. After Brett, we'll go Joe.
Chris, in terms of offensive philosophies, because the offense obviously has been an issue all year. Have you spoken to Caldwell and Thomas about that changing of the offensive philosophies, or anything else that you guys are going to try and change?
We've
Or is it going to
talked.
be status quo?
No, we've talked about things, and at the same time, I'm going to probably keep those in house. And you can't overhaul everything, but I think you can do some things, and we'll work on that.
Two-part question. Were you given any sort of assurance, might not be the right word, but were you told you'll have an opportunity to have this gig full-time? And then
No, I haven't had that assurance. And to be honest with you, I'm working on today, and that's all I'm focused on.
secondly, you were obviously here last year when Steve took over. What will you take away from how he handled it? You guys finished up pretty strong, obviously.
I think there's a lot of things you can learn from that experience right there. I think it still goes back to just winning the day and winning the process. And like I said earlier, I know it's very coach speak and those things, but I do believe that because in this business, I mean, the NFL train is always moving, and the NFL monster will eat you at any time, and you need to be prepared, and you need to take the proper steps to set yourself up for success. And that's what we're trying to work on right now.
Coach, in addressing the team after this transition, what was important for you to convey?
There were some things that we talked about that I'm going to keep in house. I would say this, and I talk about this in our special teams unit. When you turn the tape on, I just want people to say that's a classy, hard-hitting unit that plays with great unity, and that's probably how I'd sum that up.
Caldwell has a lot of experience. Is that someone you're going to lean on in the background?
Oh, 100%. I mean, think about, okay, I'm the interim head coach for 6 games. I have Coach Caldwell down the hall, Coach Capers down the hall, 2 very highly successful coaches and men in this league. So yes, I go to them quite a bit.
Mike Salarte, followed by Sheena. Chris Isbell.
What is your philosophy and your thought on keeping this room together? Because when a coach is dismissed, I mean, there's the real potential for fracturing and for guys to kind of not be on the same page.
Well, here's how I look at it. The tape is all that matters. That's my resume. How, for example, how my units play, that's my resume. How a player plays, that's his resume. And what I would say to anyone, I've used this before, and because I've been in this situation before, when there's change, all you can handle is what you can do. And you need to take care of your business, because when things change and people begin to review the tape, they're studying you. Do we want to keep this player? Do we want to keep this coach? So it's in your best interest to do your job at the highest level, regardless of what your record is, regardless of what the situation is. You're a professional football player, you're a professional coach. Be a pro, and that's how I look at it.
We'll take 2 more. We go David, and then we'll go Joe one more time.
Chris,
Oh,
Sheena, we will not forget you.
why do you think that Frank was fired and you're here today as the interim coach?
I have no opinion on that. Here's my deal. I'm staying in my lane. I was presented an opportunity, and now, things have changed for me in my role, and that's what I'm just concentrating on.
You and Jim Caldwell have already made one decision in tandem. Can you share with us what his role will be going forward?
I made that decision, and those are always tough decisions. But Parks Frazier will be our quarterback coach, and Coach Caldwell will be in that room helping, and Thomas Brown will be our play caller and coaching the running backs.
Chris, are there any players or personnel groupings that you want to change? Maybe get some guys on the field that we haven't seen a lot of these first 11 games?
We'll probably shy away from some of those answers right now, and just kind of let the tape and the play speak for itself. Thanks, everybody.
That means, yeah. Let the tape speak for itself.
He answered that question correctly. He did, right?
He did.
So do you want to get back into it, man?
All right, so start off with David Tepper. Just like what the chat was saying. Hey, David Tepper was tap dancing to giving us that old Brown stuff. Like,
man.
I think the problem is he doesn't know football knowledge. And I think that's been proven. And when you start talking about money, he knows money.
Yeah.
He brought up, that's all he knows, because he was talking about what he brought to to Charlotte.
Right.
He didn't say
he brought Beyonce and Garth Brooks.
Thank you. He brought up high school games back in the stadium.
42 events.
And again, he's a money man. He's not a football minded owner.
Yeah,
and
that's why I believe what Big Smurf said. I mean, he might be looking to try to sell this joint, man, later on, man. You never know. I mean, he just tap danced around every single question that was relative to, how everybody has been feeling. He tap danced right around it. Stuff that would have pinned him into having to say, listen, I made a bad choice.
He doesn't understand that, though. He doesn't understand it, because then he said, I think, what was it, the 20 or 30 years line of, somebody leaving me or something like that.
Yeah. People been working for him for 20, 30 years, and
they don't leave.
Outside of football, he got great patience.
and again, you just said it, Tony. Outside of football, he is not a football owner. He owns the Carolina Panthers, but mindset-wise, he is not a football owner at all. That's the reason why I understand why they're using this handler subtitle now that he needs to help him make decisions.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, man. Staying on David Tepper, I feel like he don't care, man. He can care less, man.
I think he cares, but he doesn't want to fall on the sword. Because again, with investments, what happens when you fail an investment? You do what? Put money into another one, correct?
That's what you do.
So
that's all he's doing.
So he doesn't have a fallback. So he's not going to be like, oh, I messed up, let's go to the next. You can't do that. But the way he's doing it is, oh, I thought I liked this coach. Matt Rule, you're gone. Steve Wilkes, step up. Oh, Wilkes, thank you for what you did. I'm gonna hand it off to Frank Reich. Oh, Frank, you didn't do what I need you to do. Thank you. Tepper, take over. Let's rinse and repeat. Yeah. So it's almost like an investment that he's putting in, or a stock. That's the better word. He's investing stocks into these coaches. And when the stock drops, when he's in that red, and what we mean by red is Cowboys are selling out your stadium. You're not getting TV money like you were in your own market. And if people are stop buying your merch, you're going 65% off on merch. It's like they stop. So you're in the red now. So it's time for me to go ahead and get ahead of it and just transition. That's where I see it as. This is a stop market for him and not the NFL.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, man. And unfortunately, I think it's going to continue. He said emphatically that it would. Now I want y'all to remember this. He said emphatically it would not be hard to get another head coach in here. We can start actually hiring or doing interviews. I think January 22nd.
January 2nd, I thought. Was it 2nd or January 22nd?
I think it's the 22nd.
Okay.
That's when we can start actually tampering or, interviewing coaches or whatever, all that stuff. That's when we can start doing that face-to-face interviews. Now, I don't know, but what I will say is this. You're going to have to throw the bag at somebody to come into this dysfunction. They're going to have to like Bryce. They're going to want to have to deal, if you don't fire Scott Fitterer, they're going to have to want to deal with Scott Fitterer after all the media. And remember, media pushed all the Bryce Young stuff on us last year or this year. Media did that. So media has been saying Scott Fitterer needs to go too. How do you think that coach is going to feel coming in if we still you're going to have to fire him.
But Demetrius, this is the problem I have with our media. They didn't ask him that question on the mic. But when he walked out, I just got on Twitter. They said that they asked him about Scott Fitterer, and he just looked, had his head down, and walked out the door.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So one thing that I will
Wow.
say as well, body language tells a lot as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Scotty's days are over with.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure that
And,
they may
and
let Scott stay to the end of the season. And
yeah,
then let him
and it
go.
should be. It should be over. Whoever the next head coach is, you need to get a GM in there first and let that GM hire his head coach.
There you go.
You don't need
There
it
you
don't
go.
need to be vice versa. You don't hire the head coach first and let the head coach be in the process of picking the GM. That's not the order of business. You know what I mean? So you let the GM come in and let him choose his guy, and those two are married together, and they'll work better together because they will have some type of relationship beforehand going into this job.
Right. Yeah. No, absolutely. And listen, the whole thing about he talked about golly, what was it? I just had it in my mind. Hold on. He talked about oh man. I lost my train of thought. I ain't gonna lie. I was trying to add this link here. Y'all go ahead. It's gonna come back to me.
No, it's just for me. I think he has to do it right. He's tired of losing money, but at the same time, I think, like you said, Big Smurf said, is this an investment where you're going to sell the team to another buyer for the Carolina Panthers? Oh, this is the point I was going to make. I do think coaches are out there want to work with Bryce. Again, we said that before the presser. This team is really not a bad team.
No, it's
really
not.
Personnel
It's not a
wise,
bad
we need
team.
weapons. We need weapons. I will say that. Outside of, I think somebody said in the chat about the defensive pieces. Jeremy Chin, you can trade away. He hasn't done anything all year. That's a tradable piece. Dante Jackson is another tradable piece. If you're going to keep Brian Burns,
I wouldn't trade Dante. I think Dante's been doing pretty good.
So I'll ask you this one. Come on. No, here it is. Dante or CJ Henderson, which one?
Oh man,
both.
No,
ain't no either.
No, you need one. You got to keep one. You just got to keep one for right now.
Well, if I got to just keep one, I'll keep Dante. But okay. I will say this: CJ Henderson surprised me in that Seattle Seahawks game. How he locked up DK Metcalf, and that kind of turned my mind from saying, because remember, I was on the horn, blowing the horn real hard, pause about letting CJ Henderson go.
Nobody want no damn Dabo Sweeney. Nobody want no damn Dabo Sweeney.
That's Poppy.
Come on, Poppy.
Poppy said Tepper has a flight to Greenville.
Don't do it. Don't do it. I swear don't do it.
Yeah. He said CJ Henderson got to go. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, man. CJ Henderson was locking people up, man, before he got injured this season.
This year being his fourth year in the league, because of course Carolina did not pick up his fifth year option. This is a contract. Yeah, this is a contract year for him. Honestly, this is the best ball that he's been playing since his rookie year,
right,
in Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, when you go back and look at the game this past Sunday,
mm-hmm.
when Tennessee ran the ball,
mm-hmm.
and they wasn't running it up the middle, and they wanted to go off tackle,
mm-hmm.
what side of the field did they run to?
They ran to
Dante
the right.
Jackson side. They ran to wherever Dante Jackson was, because he's the weakest link as far as coming up in run support.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like fans, we tend to get excited when he comes up and he makes one good hit and he jumps up, act like he been doing the shit all game.
He did. He did miss that whole tackle. I ain't gonna lie. He missed
there's no consistency with him in the run game. His footwork ain't shit when it comes in the passing game. He relies too much on his speed. His eyes are dirty. Listen, I could pick Dante Jackson as a part all day long.
Well, let him stay one more year, because when I play Madden, I use him.
No,
and he's real good on Madden.
No, I put him at safety.
Me too.
I put him at safety.
And listen, and it's crazy. It's crazy that you say that, Doug, because I told CJ this about 2 years ago, I said the only way I think Dante Jackson can benefit and make it in this league if you switch him to safety
He
because
works
he,
for
he
safety.
has a because
He works at a safety position on the game. I mean, game is game, but in real life, but he works as a safety.
because
He works.
he got that speed. If you want to run single high safety, cover one or something like that, he has the speed that he can play from sideline to sideline and get there quick, fast, in a hurry. So I think it would benefit him if you put him at free safety.
Yeah.
That's my honest opinion. But if you're gonna leave Dante Jackson at corner, he's not it. My main comp for Dante Jackson when he came into the league was Denzel Ward. Why? Because they the same height, same weight, they ran the same 40 time. But you know what the difference is between Denzel Ward and Dante Jackson?
What?
Denzel Ward is a technician. His technique is sound. You know what I'm saying? So you say, well, damn, how this 5'10", 185-pound dude out here locking up these big body receivers and playing great in run support, and we got a cornerback with the same speed, same height, weight that looked completely opposite of what Denzel Ward looking like.
Right. No, I feel you on that.
So that's my thing. Like, okay, it's good that you the fastest defensive player in the league, or you run a 4-3 flat. Cool. That got nothing to do with technique. Because when your technique ain't right, it make your 4-3 seem like you run a 4-5.
Hey, yo, Big Smurf, you own one, yo. Big Smurf said Frank was Frank was bringing old school football to a new age after the Texas when he was the only one in the locker room doing the mashed potato or everybody was doing the gritty. The mashed potato dance. Poppy, what you talking about?
He trolling. Poppy trolling.
Yeah, he trolling bad. He trolling bad, yo.
Yeah, man. I mean, hey, I think going back to David Tepper, I'm gonna go to Tabor because, well, I'll go to Tabor real quick. If you notice the type of language that Tabor is using, it sounds like Steve Wilkes, doesn't it?
What do you mean by that?
We're gonna win the day.
Win the day, but it's almost like scripted.
I mean, it is.
Thank you.
But
I'm glad
you want to
you
know
said
something
that.
though? Because the reason why I feel like it's scripted, who did Tabor work with last year whenever somebody got the interim coach?
Oh yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It feels scripted because it's almost the exact same answers that was given.
Yep. But the thing of it is though, Steve Wilkes actually produced on what he said. 6-6 record. So question to the panel. Do we expect Tabor to go 3-3?
We did that yesterday. And we did that yesterday. That's a hard one.
Is he going 3-3? You don't?
Let me answer that honestly. No.
No.
So okay. Hell no. Can y'all stop? Oh my Jesus. Did you just see the last comment by Carolina first?
What he said?
No.
Dion. Nah. Yeah,
Dion's not coaching the NFL. He's already made that plain and simple.
Plus he can't leave Colorado for another year or two up under contract or whatever.
Yeah,
he can't leave.
No, he can get a buyout, but he's not going to leave. Everybody
it will be Atlanta
on that
Carolina.
He's not coming to the NFL. Period.
If Shador and our old boy goes to the NFL, which I doubt they do. Yeah, Shador and Shiloh go to the NFL. He or going to the draft. He ain't got no more firepower.
He already said they're coming back.
Yeah, they're coming. They're coming out in 2025. He's already said it. They're coming out 2025.
Well,
yeah.
I hope.
Even with Travis Shiloh and Shador leaving, he still has a daughter that's just a freshman at CU.
She's not good, but she's not good though. She's not even playing. She didn't even play at Jackson State.
But hold on, she was a true freshman. She came in, and then in the middle of the season, Dad got the job in Colorado, so she transferred. Right now, she broke her finger. She broke her fingers, so she's on. She's on the bench. So I'm not gonna say she's not good, because if you seen her play when she was playing at Rockwall Heath, and Doug, I know you know.
I know. Out
About
here in
that area.
Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, she
I can see
she was
that.
a pretty decent. Yeah, she was a pretty decent basketball player. I ain't saying she was like no all-star, nothing like that. But
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say. Yeah, I'm not gonna say she's not any good. But my point is, everybody wants to focus on him talking about him leaving possibly after Shador or Charlotte go to league. But he still got a daughter that's playing ball, and as long as she's in college, he's not gonna leave her up there in Boulder, Colorado by herself.
No, you want to know something? Because if he goes to Atlanta, should be right at Georgia State. So don't worry about that.
Well, real quick, guys. Big Smurf put on the screen. Even if Tabor wins out, he won't be the head coach
That's
next
a
year.
fact.
He's also leaving. I
don't think Tabor will leave though. That's one coach that does not need to leave. Tabor has done great underneath Rule.
Yeah.
He's done great underneath Wiltz, right?
Yep.
And now he's the interim head coach. Our special
But I don't
teams,
think. Go ahead, Doug. I'm sorry.
No,
go ahead. I'm
our
sorry.
special teams is just is the cod of this team that has not changed.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't think Tabor has a desire to be a head coach.
I don't think so either. I mean,
You got to hear it. He said I've been coaching 15 years, and I only been at coaching one game, and then I helped when our coach had COVID. He's not that. That's the answer of somebody that does not want a coaching job. He just wants to do what he loves to do, which is special teams.
Right. Poppy said Tabor is Tepper's main mole to get information. I mean,
we had a mold this year. I really don't think we had a mold this year. I think Frank Reich fed us fool's gold.
Well, I don't think it was Frank Reich. I think it was the Tepper, whole front staff, man. I think all that was Tepper's fault. Everything, the big shindig, and the first Carolina coach of a football player, quarterback, and now he's a head coach, and grand opening, grand closing, bro.
And what you saying that, D, how do you think, what does that do? What did we say in the beginning, what he looks at? Investments. So having a coach that played for your organization, threw your first touchdown, and was one of the Super Bowl winning coaches, what is he thinking? Money.
Yeah, I mean,
like everybody said, I was there. I know Tony was there. I wasn't able to meet you out there. But if you look at training camp, they said these were the best numbers since Cam's rookie year at training camp. So again, what was that? Money.
Yeah, the best numbers. Yeah, because we got the number one draft. That's why.
I'm not mad at him for thinking business wise, because that's what he is. That's what he does, and that's what he should stick to, the business side of football. His job is to get fans in the seats. His job is to get the fan base riled up, feeling good, or whatever. His problem is, and this is just my opinion, his hand is too far in the cookie jar. Stay in your lane. You know how we always, the saying is, stay in your lane. He don't know how to stay in his lane. His lane is the business side. Yeah, his lane is the business side. He's not a football guy. That's not what he does. You know what I'm saying? So until, just like with Jerry Jones and the Cowboys, until you learn how to stay in your lane as the businessman, the marketing genius, or whatever you want to call yourself, and leave the football up to football people, you're going to have this type of dysfunction and subpar seasons until you can do so.
Yeah, I like this post by.
That's when I was reading by Pop. Yeah.
I mean, all he cares about is what he he thinks the Carolinas was like some old ran down huckabucka. We had Cam Newton here. We had rappers and everybody
else
was
coming to games every week.
On the side,
every week.
Man, like, what is you talking about, son? Like, you just don't know. You were stuck up there in Pittsburgh where it's gray. Listen, I just was in Pittsburgh. I know Pittsburgh is gray. It's dead. Ain't nothing going on.
It's industrial. That's an industrial part of Pennsylvania. Like I said, I got folks up in Philly, Like I said, that's the industrial part of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and I mean the whole city was, man. Listen, the Cam Newton era here, like, yo, it was on point, yo. Everybody was dabbing. They mama, grandma, and them. Everybody was dabbing. You know, the city was lit. Even when we had a season, even after the Super Bowl season, it was like, dang, you know, we ain't do too good. But next year, bro, like we knew it. We knew it. And then even the games we had, you know, after we lost the Super Bowl, we had that game against Denver. Man, that felt like a freaking Super Bowl again, even though we lost.
Yeah.
But I mean, we were not the laughingstock of the league for almost 7 years. And in 6 years, less than 6 years, we became the laughingstock of the league. So it just goes to show that one man, you know, thought process or interpretation of how the team, you know, aura was totally flawed. Like, David Tepper had no real idea on what was going on here in Charlotte. If he did, he would not have let Cam Newton go, then bring him back a year and a half later. Just an idiot. Just a complete idiot. Hey, Big Smurf, I can almost guarantee you guys Tepper would try to bring Bryce Young, Alabama staff, to Carolina just to see if he can get Bryce rolling. Hey, I ain't nothing gonna get past me. Listen, look, you know what? Let's talk about this. Joe Brady. Joe Brady, bro. I'm not gonna lie. If we didn't fire him, I think Joe Brady and Bryce would have worked great together.
You think so?
I think so, man. I think so.
Wow.
I don't think the issue was Joe Brady when we had Matt Rule. I think Joe Brady was just a scapegoat. Because watching him, and listen, all that stuff that's going on right now with what old boy over there, Josh Allen, that's Josh Allen's fault.
Yeah, Josh Allen's been like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
but
every single week he plays, they always got one interception on Prize Picks, and I always say more.
But let's put it in full context, though.
What's up?
I like Joe Brady, and I was a Joe Brady fan when he was at LSU and they won the national championship. He did his thing. But let's remember, at LSU, he was co-offensive coordinator. He wasn't a sole offensive coordinator. And then when he came to Carolina, the big thing that Joe Brady couldn't overcome was making adjustments, second half adjustments.
Okay.
All right. That's what really killed him in Carolina, that the offense started being too predictable in the second half because you can make adjustments coming out of halftime to show, you know, what was working or what was not working in the first half, and did you make those adjustments in the second half? I know I just talked around in circles.
Was that his first year here in Carolina or his second season here in Carolina?
Well, he was here he was here like for a year and he was like full year and then like 5 games.
5
second
games.
year.
Yeah, we had an early bye that year. So
and then also on that, he's not running his system in Buffalo right now. He's running the system that Ken Dorsey implemented. So what we're seeing Joe Brady run right now is what he's been learning the past year or past 2 years up under Ken Dorsey and Brian Daboll when Brian Daboll was there.
Facts. Facts. Poppy said, y'all better be ready for air raid offense next season. Tepper wants to completely get away from being a pound the ball team. I don't know why. Like, I understand he probably wants to get away from that, but that's the issue that happened with the Seattle Seahawks. You know, you want to pass the ball on the 1 yard line. You saw what happened. Like, it makes no sense at all. It makes no. I don't know who placed that inside David Tepper's ear that he needs to get away from the ground and pound. The ground and pound is what gets you. I mean, look at the Lions. The Lions ain't the Lions without that ground and pound game.
Don't worry, that coach is coming to Carolina, so don't worry about that.
Hey,
the Lions aren't the Lions without that.
Big Smurf got a good question right there.
Big Smurf said, in all seriousness, though, do you think we'll see a different scheme in Tabor than Frank 3-4? 4-3, which is hey.
I don't think the 3-4. I don't think the 3-4 had nothing to do with Frank. That's Ejiro Evero's scheme, and Evero is a prodigy of Dom Capers. Okay, he learned that 3-4 scheme with the Don Capers. I think
Mhm.
what happened was, and Frank Wright them talked about it. He took about 55% of his triangle read offense, and he meshed it with about 45% of what Thomas Brown know as far as the wide zone offense that he learned under Sean McVay. You know what I'm saying? But I'm curious to see, since now that he has full autonomy over the play calling, do
Mhm.
he kind of scrap that triangle read part of the offense and implement more of his wide zone, vertical spread offense that he learned under Sean McVay while he was at the Rams? That's what I want to see.
I think this right here. I think that if you look at the last offensive line configuration that we had in Tennessee, I think that was the best one that we had, even though, it wasn't the best, but it was the best, if you get what I'm saying. They was able to kind of hold for Bryce a little bit better than the actual starters that came in. So I do believe that we're going to see a little bit more, pre-snap motion. We're going to see some different stuff. The offense, like I said, don't look for next week or this week right here to be the end all to be all with Thomas Brown and the play
Right.
calling. Give it another week.
Give it another week.
Yeah, give it another week,
Right.
and then we can make a fair assessment after that. Because, hey, they had Thanksgiving last week. Nobody really knew that. Well, probably was, beaming around the organization. I mean, like I said, I had someone that works for the Carolina Panthers. I can't say where she works at or what she does, but she said she's heard yelling coming from offices at each other, and it makes total sense now that all this is going
Who
on.
said that?
Well, I got a good friend that works.
Oh,
for
he
the Carolina.
got a friend.
Oh.
He can't let the source out, Tony.
Yeah, I can't
Oh
let the
no,
source out.
I wasn't paying attention. I
Yeah,
wasn't paying
no,
attention.
no, no,
My
you
bad.
good. Yeah. I got a source that works for the Carolina Panthers. Like she's in there, and I've heard. Well, she's told me that there's been some yelling going on through some doors. I don't know if it was
I ain't
Duce.
surprised.
Yeah, she didn't tell me who it was. She know who it was, but she said I can't tell you who it is because I'm not going to do that. But maybe in the next 3 years she'll tell me. But yeah, man, I mean, it makes sense. And 3 weeks ago she told me that, and to see David Tepper going on this rant, coming out of the Tennessee locker room after the loss on Sunday, screaming F or whatever, and it just makes sense. Like, you don't build up from nothing to just that. Like, it has to be a build up of tension going on. And, so that's why I trust what she said, because I think it's totally plausible. But the 3-4 defense, in my opinion, I like it. I'm not going to lie. I run 3-4 odd a lot on Madden. And the reason why I do that is because, like, I love the fact of having an extra defender with his eyes not in the dirt. I like that. But the only issue is you have to have very, 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 very good defensive line and very, very good linebackers. And if you don't have that, you have gaping holes. The 3-4, you got to cover a gap and a half. And if you don't have that, if you don't have good gap savvy, nose tackle and guards and stuff like that, you're short. Like, you're done. It's not going to work. I mean, defensive tackles, not defensive tackles. If you don't have that, you're done. If you don't have good, rushers, edge rushers, you're done. Unless you're gonna be sitting back playing zone the whole entire time.
Yeah. But the key to the key to a 3-4 defense is straight up the middle. It's the nose guard to the middle linebacker. If you're not stout up the middle on the first and second levels, you're gonna have problems. And we see it. We've seen it firsthand with teams. If they really want to run the ball on us, they gash us up the middle. It ain't so much on the outside, outside the tackles or outside zone or anything like that. They hit us right up the middle. Why? Because we're not stout enough in the middle on the first or second level to run this 3-4 defense consistently like it should be ran.
That's why, if you notice, Evero went to almost a 5-by-2 set. The majority of this Tennessee Titans game, because
that was to stop the run.
That was to stop the run. Exactly.
Yeah.
That was to stop the run. So you go 5-by-2. You put edge rusher on both sides. You nose tackle. You bring him in tight. So you're really, in a sense, I mean, yeah, you could look at it as a 4-3 slid to the right, slid to the left. But I mean, you got 5 on the line. All right. So you're causing everything to either be ran to the outside, and then you got Frankie Louvu. You got Troy Hill. These boys out there, which it makes sense to do that type of scheme. But I want to see that stuff more incorporated into our overall identity. Like when you played the Miami Dolphins 2 years ago, like how we played them when we had Cam Newton, Brian Flores had them boys running that zero blitz with a great linebacker, middle linebacker and outside linebacker ready for him to throw the pick, because you're crowding the throwing lanes. That's what you're doing. So you're getting a hand up there, and all they see is 5-6 people rushing at them. You can't throw the ball deep when you got 5-6 people rushing at you, and it just ain't gonna happen. So I would love to see Carolina adopt that. If they're gonna stick with this 3-4, I want to see more pressures. I really do.
You know what? I was kind of hard on Brian Burns the other day after the game. When me and CJ was talking. But what I had, because I went back and watched a few games on all 22 yesterday, and what I realized is that
they finally came out with all 22. I was looking all day for it.
Brian Burns is not being utilized to its full potential in this 3-4 defense. Like I don't ever recall a time when I've seen Brian Burns drop back in coverage as much as he's doing this year. That's not his game. That's not his thing. You don't really have any pressure coming off the edge, and you're going to take your best edge rusher and drop him in the flats. That makes absolutely no sense to me. None.
Well, hey, that's how I play. That's how I play him in Madden. unless I'm running, something inside the nickel package or the 4-3, I got Brian Burns on a hard flat. Shoot, he ain't got no hands on Madden, but hey, he can deflect. But no, I get it for real life situation. Yeah, I mean, he's your pass rusher. Why is your pass rusher going back more than 60%? Back in the coverage. I get it.
Oh yeah, that coverage where they had him and Haynes as corners, that blew my mind when I seen that picture.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You in quarters coverage wide to guard the sideline, and it's just like, okay, like why?
Thank you.
I would much rather them. I would much rather them be on the line, and you put Troy Hill or old boy on the other side, man. Alex Cook, Jamie Robinson, somebody who plays that position, man. Like, do that. So, and even that first down they got, like, just the slowfulness of our defense at times, I don't like. Like, we just we're watching him like catch the ball and go in. I think it was 4th down or going to be 4th down, like 3rd and 12. We got him at, and they lined up in this I think it was no back set, empty set. And they just ran two slant routes. And the slant route that Carter was the one from out the slot. So you got beat in man coverage. Like, what?
Yeah.
I don't get it, man. That's just aggravating to me, man. If you're gonna do that, I'd rather pull everybody up to the line and dare him to make up. Dare him. Don't play back in coverage. Dare him to make a play. All out blitz. All out blitz, man. Let's see how good you really are. Yeah.
So we got Tampa Bay this weekend, right?
Yeah.
In Tampa Bay.
In Tampa Bay.
In Tampa Bay.
So how do you guys feel about that game? What do you think what do you think the Panthers' chances are of pulling the W down in Tampa?
I'm gonna be honest with you.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't really know, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't really been following the Bucs because I knew that this was going to be a late season situation. So I really haven't been following the Bucks. I plan on doing like some film study on them today and going into tomorrow, but I really don't know. I don't think Baker has been playing that well. I mean, the whole NFC South hasn't been playing that well.
Well, he hurt his ankle Sunday. He had an MRI and said it came back negative, but he kind of playing gimpy right now.
So let me pull up this.
And they have the worst running game in the league. I think they're like 31st or 32nd rushing offense in the league right now.
Okay. I mean, that might bode well for us to a certain extent, but I mean, you still got to deal with Mike Evans.
Yes.
So right now, currently,
Godwin.
But you also got to remember who's playing quarterback though. So don't do that though, D, because Baker has not been looking good lately either.
Well, yeah, I know that, but we also seen the Baker Mayfield that left Carolina went to the LA Rams in 3 days, threw a game-winning touchdown.
What's the saying? A sun can shine on a dog's ass. What?
Hey, and for the past 12 games or 13 games, it's been shining on everybody else and making us look like we in the shadows. I'm just saying, like,
I swear, we've been making these quarterbacks look like all pros.
Yeah, man, it's been crazy, man. Hey, I'm about to show y'all this real quick. I'm gonna share my screen. Let's look at this real quick. So I'm not up for speculation or anything like that, but just looking. Atlanta Falcons right now. Is this the correct? This has to be correct?
Yeah, they're correct.
Yeah,
it's
correct.
They had a tiebreaker with the Saints right now,
bro.
That's correct.
I mean, is there a chance?
Go ahead and say it. I know you want to say it. Go ahead and say it.
Hey, I mean, is there a chance? We got 6 games left, right? Hey, that's 7-10.
What are we talking about, yo? What are we talking about? Come on, man.
You think Carolina gonna win out?
No. Now you trolling. I ain't about to sit here, but you trolling now.
Yeah.
Hey, if we probably would have been 3 games in right now, like if we had a 3-win record right now, like it could have been possible. But I don't see all these teams losing out the last 6 games, making us all beat. Bro, what if that happens?
That's not happening.
It has to go to the tiebreaker, which the tiebreaker. Hold up. I'm thinking. If they
trolling, you trolling in the back of your head. You ain't thinking at all, man.
That's it. Thank you, Doug. Thank you. That's exactly what he's doing.
Hey, if we win out the rest,
he out here selling false hope.
If we win out the rest of these games and Carolina win at least 5 of the next 6, we can possibly it's possible. We just need Atlanta to lose the next. We need Atlanta to lose the next 5. New Orleans to lose the next 5. Tampa Bay to lose the next 5, and we win the next 5. We'll have the tiebreaker, but we got to beat Atlanta, the Saints, and the Bucks both times. We got to win either one of the Green Bay game, the Green Bay or the Jaguars game, and hope that they lose out.
I don't know why you feeding these people the false gospel, because you know that's not happening.
Hey, just try to do a little quick math in my mind, just a little quick math.
Now you playing trickery. You doing trickery.
What Big Smurf said, bring back the legends to coach our players like Luke Davis, Smith, Olsen. Bring Brady out of retirement to coach Bryce. Hey, that's gonna be a pretty penny.
I know. Poppy, did I just say look at the points scored and the points against? I believe in this team.
Hold on.
No, he didn't. Poppy, we are the 29th ranked offense in the league at 15.7 points a game, and we give up an average of 28 points a game. Now, somebody do the math on that, because I ain't the smartest person in the world, but I know one thing: if we giving up 28 and we only scoring 15, we ain't beating nobody.
Hey, man, we 0-7 in the conference. We're 0-2 in the division. The Falcons are 3-0 in the division right now. The Falcons have beat everybody. That means we would have to Let me stop because I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole.
You already down it.
Dub in Tampa, what happened? Bryce 303 touchdowns, 21-10 Panthers. Okay, hey, Poppy, I'm gonna record that.
God,
Yes,
dog,
sir.
300 yards.
300. Hey, he said 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, 21-10 Panthers. Hey, it's in the given
So
Sunday, right?
who remind me again who plays nose guard for Tampa Bay?
I don't know, some big white
I already
dude.
know he's talking about Samoan dude. What about him?
Yeah,
Vita Vea.
Big old
Vita
dude.
Vea. Yeah. Well, what we gonna do with him?
hey, you know what you gotta do? Ian Thomas, ain't you a blocking tight end? Put Ian right there next to Bozeman.
I can't.
Put him right
I
next
can't
to
with
him.
you. I can't with you right now, dog.
That's the only way we go win, man. Hey, Vita, hey, man, listen. I'm gonna just have to. Hey, we gotta tell. Hey, listen. If you get through the line, just blow at him. Pause. Don't.
No, there ain't no pause. Blow at him.
Just blow at him.
Hey, you don't gotta say no pause. Blow at him.
Nah, blow at him was wild though. That was crazy. just blow at him. Pause.
Oh my God.
Danny says, so you're telling me there's a chance? Danny, I'm telling you, there is an outside chance. We have not been officially eliminated. Now, I think if we lose 2 more or 1 more, we will be officially eliminated. But there is still a chance. Oh, man. That is hilarious, yo. Poppy's delusional. Y'all funny. I always think we got a chance. Yeah, I know, that's right. Ian Thomas complete left tackle. Yo, can you imagine him trying to guard somebody, man? I mean, he may do better than Icky, man.
Nobody stays on the ground more than Ian Thomas. So please.
I think it was dumb for Frank Reich to keep all those tight ends.
On
the staff, bro. On the roster. That was dumb, especially when you had Derek Wright. You know, you had I can't remember what the other wide receiver name was. If we could have kept don't we have Spencer Brown on the practice squad?
You know, that's Cohen.
Okay, that's Cohen. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie. I don't feel bad for Frank Reich because Frank Reich is a multimillionaire. Okay, you know he probably right now is sipping on some good stuff and watching David Tepper talk about nothing. So, that's what I was gonna say. So when the question came up to David Tepper on, why the Carolina Panthers decided to move on from this, it was just like, it was the most blandest answer that you can give. But it showed that he still takes no accountability for his decisions. He basically was like, old boy Scott Fitterer, because remember he kept saying with Frank and with Bryce, when they asked him about the CJ Stroud question, he said that I was fully on board with Frank, as if he was trying to say Frank was totally for Bryce. But what he was really saying was, I was on board with the hiring of Frank, and then I was also on board with the signing or the drafting of Bryce Young. I didn't make those decisions. So you didn't make the decision to hire the coach? Like it was like I don't get that. I don't understand that, man. Like, if you're interviewing him, so everything went through Scott, that's why I think Scott's gonna be up out of here, man. It just seems like he's it just seems like he's trying to place the blame on Scott more than his decisions down the line that has got us to this point. What you guys think?
We already know what it is. Like I said, they didn't. Derek Wright got released.
He got released.
He didn't want to answer it. And I'm surprised the media didn't answer the question. I'm not going to put that all on David. The media should have asked him that question about that. Yeah. What do you feel about Scott Fitterer? And I think they were so focused on hammering him that they did not, really think thoroughly on asking that question.
That'd have been the first question I'd ask. I'd like, hey, yo, David, real quick. Is Scott going to be here in 42 days? Yes or no? Is Scott going to be here in 42 days? End of the season I think the end of the season is in 42 days, if I'm not mistaken. So is he still going to be here? Yes or no? Come on, man. It don't make no sense. But fellas, I'm about to get up out here. We ain't going to do no 3-hour live like we did yesterday.
Go ahead, man. Like I said, I appreciate you. I told you we was going to show up and definitely support, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Hey, Tony, man, I appreciate you, man. Man, we're going to get up out of here, man. I got to get some schoolwork done, and I'll come back later on today, though, man. Big Smurf, hey, I saw your comment yesterday, man. Listen, StreamYard was acting funny with YouTube. Wouldn't allow that video to go through for some reason. Then later on that night, I saw that it actually did post it to YouTube. So I apologize for that. I was going to go live at 5:30 yesterday. StreamYard was acting stupid, man. But, yeah, man, I appreciate you guys. Hey, real quick, guys, if y'all haven't, please go and subscribe to Panthers Prime Podcast, man. We're doing pretty good. And if you haven't, go to see Dougie's page. What's up, Doug?
Yes, sir.
Two fans in the stands.
15 away. We 15
away. 15 away, guys. 15 away. Get them to 1,000, man.
We're not far off neither.
Where you guys at right now, Tony?
I think we're at 886.
886.
So please,
hey, 15 people run over there. We got 12 right now. If y'all can't go to two fans in the stands, Tony, go ahead and if you can, go ahead and drop that in the chat if you can, man. And I'm gonna throw it up on the screen so we can go to it. Doug, you do yours too, man.
All right, I got two fans in the stands right here because I'm on my phone. Tony, I got you.
Okay,
yeah, man.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, if y'all could, man, go there and get these guys to 1,000 today, man. In the chat if you can.
All right, that's two fans in the stands right there.
All right. Let's see here.
All right, I got two fans in the stands right here because I'm on my phone. Tony, I got you.
They ain't come through yet. Stream got to take a little bit longer.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, man, two great guys who do content, man, and it's been going pretty good, man. These guys got some good platforms. Yeah, I don't know why I don't see
What it could be too, in StreamYard, if somebody posts a link, you can have it where the link doesn't pop up unless one of your mods posts it too.
Oh yeah. So, but okay. So you guys see it. I kind of just wanted y'all to put the name in there. Just text the name in there so I can put it up on the screen.
Got you.
Yep. And if you guys can, just head on over there, man, and go subscribe to these guys' channels, man. And I would greatly appreciate that, man. Here we go. That's right. What's up, Doug? Just like that.
Yeah.
And two fans in the stands.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and go hook these guys up, man. Get them right, y'all, please.
Already. We appreciate the love.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. But hey, fellas, we out of here, man. I'm gonna come back later on today. We're gonna break down some more of this David Tepper craziness, man. But hey, this is your host Demetrius with the PPP Panthers Prime Podcast. You know what time it is. Let's go.
Podcast.